Emir, bana şey geçsene. Cep telefonu. Şey görmemiş. Hello, guys. My guest will be joining me very soon. Chance Shao and Pradeep, they will be joining. Soon. Hello, Phil. How are you evening? Aleyküm selam kardeşim. Third, Tuesday strength, old school. Hello, Osmo. Hello, Andrea. Hello, guys. Very soon, my guest will join me. Probably in a few minutes. So we will be talking about East versus West, as you can guess. And we will talk about the matches. And this weekend, I don't want to do any live. I think it's the Easter. But they are coming very soon. I injured my lower back. I did some standing barbell curls, and it's a chronic injury on my lower back as well. So I have been laying down, but I, for now, sit. Okay, Chance just came, and
How's it going, Ingen?
Hello, Chance. It's good to see you.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Might have the wrong settings here.
Waiting for you and for.
Sorry, I had the wrong speakers on.
Now you hear me? No?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. So how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Ingen?
Good. You did a good job. You did a great job. I expected you to win, but versus Todd, I mean, not many can do right now that, but you gave him a very hard time. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I definitely wanted to win, but yeah, you know, I did my best, so thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you pull very good. You know, it is not possible to. I mean, not many people can do everything, you know, perfectly. I think you did very well, but maybe a little bit more. But I'm sure that you learned something, and right now, next time if you pull him, you would just probably be. Do you think that you were not ready technically, or it was all about the strength?
I feel I did everything that I planned to do. Like I executed my game plan. I did what I needed to. I just wasn't strong enough to take his pronator. Like, of course I can take the risk, but I was trying to get him palm up.
Yeah.
I just didn't have enough over.
Yeah, I realized that once you try to do that, then you start losing your own pronator. I think the key is to do that both at same time, I think.
Yeah, I was trying. I just didn't have the strength necessary, I think.
So you did your game plan. I mean, good, but you said you executed. But do you really think that you were able to do as you planned everything?
I wasn't able to do what I planned because I wasn't able to take his pronator, of course, but I was able to try. Like I executed in the way that I feel I didn't make too many mistakes on my game plan. I just had to be stronger so I could execute it properly. Of course, the mistakes I made, there were some elbow fouls. If I kept my elbow down, of course, that would have been better. Or my finger slipped off the peg, and that was called when I felt I was in a good position. So mistakes in that way. But what I was trying to accomplish, I think.
I mean, I never pulled except like shaking hand. Like we never even like train with Todd. Yeah. But I kind of think that one needs to have some serious side pressure to at least match his side pressure to keep the match at least here, to not to be going so much this way. I mean, I'm not saying that one should beat Todd Hutchings with side pressure versus side pressure, but even to be able to apply what you plan, you need some side pressure support. Am I wrong or?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The biggest thing, I mean, one of the biggest things for me, I was trying to, like you said, match side pressure to keep his hand out of his shoulder. It's a lot harder for him to set a wedge with his hand outside of his shoulder. When his hand is all the way here and he has a side pressure engaged, he can set that wedge a lot easier. So if I had more side pressure and I could keep him here, then I'm a lot more in the game, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one guy is asking who felt stronger, John or Todd. But I think that before I ask you this, the everything is different from that time to this time. I mean, you are stronger than that time, and also John it was the beginning match. I'm sure that right now he's much stronger. At that time, he looked like he's just like I don't know, because he was many years away. I don't think that he was like ready mentally, the hand control and everything. But I am sure that you are also much stronger than that time right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard question to answer because, like you said, I'm way stronger than I was before, but also John is much more in shape than he was when I arm wrestled him. So I think today I could beat the version of John that I had pulled originally back in July, but I don't think that I'm capable of beating today's version of John. So it's hard. I think that John's a bit more capable than I am when it comes to controlling the pronator and the hand and wrist at the same time. So I do think that John has the tools necessary to beat Todd.
You think that right now, if they would pull Todd?
I think John would beat Todd right now. But it's only speculation, of course, because the distance of time that I pulled them is too far apart. Oh. I'm not sure if it's my internet or your internet. I mean, but you're cutting out a little for me. Is it my side?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I see all frozen, but maybe I use my own internet.
Check. I think my internet should be fine.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, now I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't able to hear you before.
Yeah. Emir, where is Pradeep? He came and he left again, or what happened?
I haven't seen Pradeep pop up on my screen, so I'm not sure if he tried to join or
yeah,
what.
I saw him. I accepted him. Bottom side I saw, but then he disappeared again. Emir. Yeah, I'm telling my son if they are using internet there. orada internet kullanıyorsanız şey yapın. Yani kapatın şeyi. Yeah. So yeah. So if we like you were gonna pull Efe, and now the match is not gonna happen. You said that something is wrong with your arm. Is that because of that all that pressure between Todd and you?
Yeah, it was just directly after the match. It's something
Uh-huh.
just doesn't feel connected properly. I'm just not
Yeah.
able to put the same amount of pressure on it. I don't know if it's an injury. I just need more time to recover. It's hard to tell, but I just know that my arm is not ready for any sort of match right now. I did
Oh.
one table time practice and things just did not feel right at all.
So you are saying that you felt it right away, but you were hoping that it could be something temporarily and then be gone. But
Exactly.
now you realize that it's still continuous, and then yeah. So you think that you will not be ready till that time. I understand.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
If,
with someone like
if,
Fa, I want to make sure I'm coming in at 100% to be ready for him.
yeah. Whenever you pull international super match, you cannot afford any other loss. Even if you lose, you wouldn't want this to happen because you are not ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If I lose, I want to know that I was the best version of myself and my competitor was just better.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's smart decision. Yeah. Anyway, so if we go and talk about East versus West.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you think about the card? Is as good as last time?
I think the card might be better than last time, even in my opinion. I'm really excited for a lot of these matches.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the matches are really, really close on the card.
Yeah. And what's the match that you would like to? By the way, I injured my lower back a few
I
days
did
ago
too.
when I was doing barbell curl, standing barbell curl, and I just hardly. Normally, I was laying down. I used some muscle relaxers, shots. And but so I'm kind of in pain right now, but I need to promote the event. So
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear
but
that. I
yeah,
also injured my lower back deadlifting like a month and a half ago. I've been
yeah.
just trying to rest, but I went to the doctor yesterday and they said they think I fractured my spine. So
Mm,
yeah, it's unlucky for us both, I guess. But a match that one of the matches, I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of them. I'm really looking forward to Ungarbayev and Marcio. I think that match is
mhm.
really, really it could go either way. It's really close.
How do you see? Technically, how do you see? I'm not asking you, but you can also share your prediction. But technically, how do you expect what they can do, what they cannot do? Do you think like Marcio can hook him?
I don't think Marcio can hook him. I think Marcio's path to victory is going to be through the outside game. His high post, his traditional high post and driving sideways. Ungarbayev was in the same class as Marcio in Zloty in 2018, right?
I think,
Yeah,
or 17.
17. Okay. Yeah. And Ungarbayev ended up winning. And that's when Marcio lost
What,
to Kojak.
Krasimir?
No, the
Was
Turkish.
Krasimir? Oh, it was overalls. It was overalls.
Yeah, and overalls.
Yeah. Overalls, but Marcio had like minutes long matches in the 105 kilo weight
Yeah,
category. Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I really don't know what way it's going to go. Ungarbayev has been looking really impressive, but I haven't seen so much on a big stage from him. He recently didn't he lose in his class?
Yeah, it was about like 1.5 months ago. Yeah. I heard that, he had some shoulder surgery and he's coming back. So it was about 1.5 months ago. And he spent 1.5 months more to train. And now he has more than 1 month. And what I heard that, he will be ready and he is just in a camp and training like crazy. This is what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he's able to commit his shoulder and drive inside, I think it's going to be a long day for Marcio. I think Marcio needs to keep him outside of his shoulder and control his hand. I don't think Marcio should hook him at
Mm-hmm.
all.
So you are expecting both of them to go top roll versus top roll, and Porschery will go strap, and
Yep,
then the one that has stronger wrist will
yep. Wrist
survive. Well,
and post. I think
yeah,
it will
yeah,
come out
yeah.
with the race.
I mean, you
More,
may have post, but if your wrist is not so much handily, I mean, then I don't know how much it will mean. You may have less back pressure than your opponent, but stronger wrist. Then
yeah,
even when you do a hammer curl with a thick bar, I
right,
mean, as much as your wrist handles, once it drops, just
right.
you can't really use it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the rise is more important here. I don't expect
Yeah,
low hand.
yeah. Both. I kind of see like riser, and I kind of in strap, think about a lot about that wrist solidness with a good let, first. I mean, I'm a believer in strap to block the guy with the lat, and then add in the after securing, your hand and wrist, uh, and then top rolling, going for outside for pronation.
Yeah,
So how do you see, like in the percentage, how do you see the match going?
I think it's pretty close. Maybe I would give a slight edge to Ungarbayev, 55-45, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I think Marcio will come there like a bull as well. This is what I expect him to.
Yeah. No, I expect to see a really strong version of Marcio show up.
Uh,
Absolutely. Marcio, when he was at there was a Mr. Olympia tournament back in October where I saw him compete. Nobody slowed him down at all. That was at the 105 class. He looked very, very good on the right side.
yeah. I saw him like in a great shape. When you mean like versus Krasimir?
No, that was before. I saw him in October of last year, and he was in Florida competing.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, okay. For the last minute event you're talking about.
yes, the last minute event, and he looked really, really strong to me in that event.
You're talking about the event that they announced like one
Like
week
three
before.
weeks. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
two weeks something. Yes.
yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he showed up to that with, just last second, and he did really, really good.
Did he look any bigger or better than the shape that he was versus Krasimir?
I wasn't there in person, so it's hard to say, based off of video versus in person, but
Uh,
he looked in fantastic shape. I
yeah.
would guess
Oh,
better shape than when he pulled Krasimir.
interesting, because it's a last minute, announcement for an event, and him to be that ready is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I saw him, after he pulled with Krasimir, that whenever he did those bicep pose and everything, he just looked. I mean, very,
yeah,
very scary. Yeah.
he looked really good when he pulled Krasimir. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the next one that is interested for you?
And like I said, they're all interesting. I'm really interested to see the Dave versus Gennady rematch.
What do you expect from there? You pull Dave in the same event in Orlando, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's strong. He's strong.
yeah.
People were
He's
general
much.
thinking that Alex was going to beat him in Dubai. Yeah. And it didn't go that way.
No, not at all. Dave's looking in really, really good form, which is great to see.
Hmm.
I know he was telling me before he didn't feel that great after his neck injury quite a few years ago, but it looks like it's not bothering him nearly as much as it used to. Because for him to beat Alex in the fashion that he did was really, really impressive.
Hmm.
And then of course we just saw Gennady at your event beat Michael.
Hmm.
Um, Again in very dominating fashion. So it's just to me, it's really interesting to find out if the gap is closer, because they pulled in what, 2017? Was it 2017 when Dave beat Gennady 4-2?
Either 17 or 18, but either of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Gennady was starting to come back in he won the last 2 rounds, but it was close enough where if he found a better lane, he might have been able to tie it 3-3 even. So I'm curious to see if this fired up version Gennady and this strong version of Dave have a closer match, or if Dave is just too strong for Gennady right now.
At those years, Gennady was still pulling at WAF.
Yep.
He didn't pull 2018 WAF, but I think he pulled 2018 Europeans as well. I know. So I think Gennady right now is stronger than that time.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Dave, but Dave, how to say, because of that, because of those top rollers, I think that he decided to train his pronator even harder and harder and harder in the way that we saw him beating Kurdesha. Even he didn't have the wrist. I'm talking about the earlier rounds. Later, he also had the wrist, but his side pressure was already incredible. And now he added a very solid pronator. Even he loses his wrist, he also makes his opponent to lose the wrist.
Yep.
And then with the side pressure, pure side pressure, that is probably one of the best, if not the best in the world, he's beating his opponents. So if you remember, he also beat Gennady in same way, similar way.
Yes.
With like a pronation, outer side pressure, I call. And so what I try to say that I think he is now stronger and more experienced about that kind of pulling.
Yes.
But Gennady is also strong. In my opinion, Dave is stronger than Gennady. But if it is not so much to dominate Gennady, and if the match somehow stops somewhere, I can say that Kurdesha may have better hand and wrist than Gennady, but I am almost sure that Gennady has more horsepower, and he is more well-rounded to pull in bad positions as long as he stops his opponent some points. And if he can do that, if Dave cannot dominate him, then I can see that the match may go to the endurance game. So if it goes there, then that may be bad news for Dave. But it is not a 6 round, it's best of 5. So Dave only needs to win 3 times. So this is my opinion.
Yeah. And last time they pulled, if that matters, Gennady couldn't get it to where it mattered about endurance until the final 2 rounds. So if he's not able to close the strength gap enough to draw it out and have long matches early on, I think we're gonna possibly see the Dave 3-0 sweep, even though maybe over 6 rounds Gennady wins or at least ties it 3-3. It's just a matter of, is Gennady strong enough to close the gap to make it about endurance? I think.
Yeah. So it looks like there are possibilities that Gennady may dominate him. They dominate Gennady, or somehow Gennady stops the match and then brings the match to endurance game, and then hardly wins the matches. Those are 2 possibilities. Yeah, we never know. We never know what's going to happen. We can only talk about the possibilities.
Yeah.
Hello, Pradeep. Hello, welcome.
Hi,
You are late again.
And whenever I invite someone on my Zoom, it always works fine. But whenever someone else invites me, it never lets me join until I restart my computer at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Okay, there is from Kevin Tamke. Thank you for super chat. I thought Chance gave Todd his hardest match as of late. Would you attribute that to your training program in Sweden? Do you think that your training program made you that good to give Todd such a hard match?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you guys know, maybe you don't, but while I was in Sweden, I started Brandon Allen's training program. and I've been focusing just on overall strength and getting stronger, and I think that helped a lot in my last match with Todd. And then on top of that, when I was in Sweden living with my training partner Emil Ekstrom, he made sure that I did not miss a single training, did not miss a single meal. He just stayed on top of me, making sure that everything was on point. So here, when I'm home, I don't have that same sort of motivation. So I think that my time in Sweden and my new training program with Brandon Allen, I think both of those are huge factors to why I was able to give Todd the match that I was. I think had I pulled him maybe 3-4 months prior before I did that, I don't think it would have been a very close match.
I understand. Yeah.
So if I heard it correctly, again, the match between Chance and FA Comic is off now, right?
Yeah. Because Chance didn't feel his arm good after that match, and he can't even train properly to push his limits to, give his 100%.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate to hear, because in Chance's last 3 or 4 super matches, I think this was the first time when in general audience polls, Chance Shaw was the favorite for the first time, I think. Otherwise, he has always been the underdog, and not by a small margin, always by big margin, like 80-20 underdog, or against Todd Hutchings, Chance was 97-3 underdog in YouTube polls.
Yeah,
and this was the first time.
Looking forward to pulling FA, but I don't want to show up if I'm not at 100%. There's no reason for me to have any sort of match when I'm not at my best.
Not at this point, at least. After losing a few matches in a row, I think that it is time for you to not to try to top of the mountain, but just
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Todd is someone that he may be in top 10 in the world in overall. This guy is. I mean, I can't say that just like he in top 10 nobody can beat. He cannot beat anybody or something. This guy, I mean, even if he loses five guys, just say dominate him. Just say Laletin dominate him. Just say Hermes dominate him. Just say Levan dominate him. But other 5 guys, even if they beat him, I'm sure that he would give them hell.
Yeah.
And he's not even a super heavyweight.
No, I think he's like 230 pounds or something.
Yeah.
105.
And if you talk about Hutchings versus Irakli.
Yeah, it's an interesting match. I want Hutchings to win 3-0, right? I'll feel a little bit better about myself. I'm like, come on, Todd, you got to win 3-0. So
for a few reasons. One, he is American.
Yes.
And then 2, he recently beat you. So you wouldn't want him to lose against someone at his own weight.
No. I want him to flash pin Irakli 3 times in a row, like he did to Jordan Sonev. If he's able to do that,
is not happening.
I'll feel amazing. I don't think it's going to happen. I agree. I don't think, but this is what I hope.
Yeah, I understand. I don't think that's going to happen. If Todd wins, I don't think that he is going to win by domination, but by endurance, as always, with that crazy side pressure.
Yeah.
Let's see which way he will try to go. Will he try to hook? Will he try to protect his pronator just in case? But I see that Todd, I think first round you wanted to go to step as well together with him.
So first round, when I pulled him, he was saying that he was going to top roll me, but I thought he was joking. But he loaded up with a high post pressure, and I'm like, I think if I hold on to this, it's not a smart move. So I loaded up high with him, and I just decided to slip. My original game plan was not to go to the straps with him in round, but it just ended up. I think that was my best option at that point.
Did you realize that the last round he actually toppled you at the end?
Yeah, fair.
Well, whenever you're tired, when you when you're exhausted, I mean, you are done, just. And that guy almost like same as Devon, he just doesn't get tired,
No, he doesn't. But I don't know. I know Irakli is getting stronger all the time, but when he pulled Mosier, it looks like he doesn't have enough side pressure to
finish him, huh?
consider going sideways with Todd Hutchings.
Yeah.
I don't think he should go inside at all. I think if he decides to go inside, that Todd will actually flash pin him. I think if he loads up and goes outside and tries to control the pronator, tries to control the hand and wrist, then it'll be a war in that case. But if he goes inside, I don't think it'll be a good day for him at all.
Do you think that if Todd goes inside, he will be successful and he will easily beat Irakli?
Yes.
Do you think that he can hook Irakli?
That's the thing. I think only if Irakli, number one, is tired because they've had wars, he can get hooked, or number two, he wants to test the hook, so he goes there.
So do you think on round one, he cannot hook?
I don't think round one, Todd Hutchings can set the hook against Irakli. No.
That wrist will be like this.
Yes.
But we just don't know where it will go, till where it can go. Even if it goes past, we don't know if it can go more than once or not. We will see.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, because Sasho was in round one. Sasho was not able to hook 90 kg Irakli, and right now he's 105, and he's young also. So when someone is young, he generally progresses at a higher rate than the guy who, let's say, is 40 years old.
Yeah, that even round two wasn't easy. And round one, I saw Sasha was totally supinated, and then it gave opportunity for Irakli to control Todd's pronator and beat him. And then round two, when I saw Sasha went inner side pressure, he still had pronator, and there he couldn't control so much, and then he couldn't go. So what I'm just saying that Irakli's wrist against people who have very strong pronator is not as dominant as like Prudnik's. He is more likely pulling here and then pressing with here. Sometimes even with a flat wrist, he's pressing. So let's see where Todd is strongest is the problem that Irakli has, that having control and not having enough side pressure. But as you said, he's now 105 kilo, and maybe different story. But I saw him training with Revaz Lutidze, who is a pure top roller. I don't know how good idea it is if he is really getting ready for Todd Hutchings with training with Revaz, because we're talking about Revaz and Todd, kind of different type of pullers. Irakli needs to train with someone with a lot of horsepower. This is my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. And what do you think about John and Zurab? Many people think that it is going to be easy.
So I thought when the match was first announced, I thought it would be a good test to see where John's arm is at. However, after watching Paul Lynn beat Ron Bath inside 3 times, and we just saw Paul Lynn and John Brzenk have their match, I personally think that John is going to control the match anywhere that he wants to.
Even in hook?
Even in a hook.
Yeah, but do you think that there is a possibility that, Ron that we saw in Istanbul and Ron that we saw versus Paul was a little bit, different?
Maybe 5%. Not enough to make a huge difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, I understand. No, what I'm just saying that, do you think that there was how long was it? 5 weeks? 5 weeks, yeah, 34 days.
5
there
weeks,
was
maybe, yeah.
5 weeks, yeah. Do you think that he had some kind of, like, those matches were like killer matches, like from beginning to the end, like it took like more than 45 minutes. So considering he's 60 years old, how long time did he have to recover after such a match, and how long time did he have to train and then rest in 5 weeks? This is what I try to ask you.
Chances frozen.
Yeah, chances frozen. Or
Yep. So I think I will give you my honest opinion about this. In the previous East versus West event, East versus West 2, I said very clearly in my prediction videos that I think the card is absolutely awesome. All matches are close except for only one match. And I said that in my opinion there is only one mismatch on this card, and that was Ron Bath versus FA Comac. Because that to me was almost clear that like it seemed to me like a mismatch after we saw Herman Stevens versus FA Comac. And this time I think there may be only one mismatch where Zurab is definitely going to be a huge underdog against John, because I'm not sure if even Todd Hutchings right now can beat John without his wrist. Like he has to cup John to beat him. John will for sure take Zurab's wrist, and I don't think Zurab can go through John's arm without his wrist.
So he knows how to finish. Emir, ışığı açar mısın onu? Yeah, you hear?
Yeah, I can hear him. People are saying that Pradeep is going to have Russell Chan show.
Yeah, can they watch the event? The live stream is okay. There's no problem,
Yes,
right?
yes. No, there is no problem.
Okay, so you
So
are
Chance is saying that Chance
Yeah.
is trying to reset his internet. His internet is cut off.
Okay. Yeah, I hope he's gonna join. So I want to ask his opinion about other matches as well. Yeah, I think that Zurab will be also better than last time we saw him, because this is like his dream match, and I kind of think that he will be even a little bit better than last time we saw him. Yeah. John knows how to finish the match when it stops. The only way that possible, if Zurab's side pressure may cause problems to John's pronator if the match goes inside, that may not be that easy. We will see. I really don't know where Zurab is actually. I really don't know. I don't know how good he is. We will soon find out. But I also see John favorites.
Can you switch to split screen? Like right now, they can only see one of us. After Chance left, only one of us is visible. Like,
how do I do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure about mobile. Maybe some right swipe or something. Gallery options. I think there is some option like that. If Chance joins, it will be automatically in split screen, I think.
Sorry about it. Sorry.
If I'm correct, there is no weight cap for this match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
I done.
We both are visible now. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. What did you say? What did you just say?
So there is no weight cap for this match. I think John is not interested in cutting weight for anyone.
No. There is 105 kilo.
105 kilo.
Yeah,
But even in such matches, weight cap doesn't really mean much. Like you versus John. Like if John can weigh 100 kilos and you can weigh 95 kilos, it looks like it is only a 5 kg difference, but still John is naturally a larger human being. I think the same case is going to be with Zurab versus John as well. Even if they are at the same weight, still John is going to be a much larger human being than Zurab.
I understand, but Zurab doesn't have like 10-15 kilo around his belly like I do. Yeah. Welcome back. Yeah, we were talking about John and Zurab, and then you are saying that John will have no problems. Is what you were saying, Chance, or I misunderstood?
Yeah. I don't think John will have any sort of problem anywhere.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Mhm.
And are you familiar with Samusha, David Samusha?
He's Georgian.
Georgian guy, they will pull Pauline.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with him until I heard about the match, and then I did some research on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have too much information. I was just kind of studying a little on his style.
Did you see his match with Sandris when Sandris won the 105 kilo Zloty tour? Are you there, Pradeep?
Yes.
Okay, his internet again has problems there. Anyway, so what do you think about Samusha and Pauline?
David Samosia, Paul Lin. So when I did some research, I think it was 2019. He was left-handed 85 kg WAF champion and right-handed silver medalist.
Who?
David Samosia. David Samosia, or
I
2018.
feel left-hand champion? No, I don't think so. No.
So
He was 75 kilo and 80 kilo world champion with right arm in last
and
few
left.
years. Right arm. His left is not as good as his right.
Okay, I think it's right.
You probably checked the wrong guy.
Or maybe I'm forgetting something. Paul Lin, I think the first weight cap was 95 kilos for that match, and then you changed it to 100.
Yeah, because I heard that David Samusha will be around 95 as well. So he is going from 86, 87 to 94, 95. And then I didn't want Paul to cut weight while one is going up. So, and then I talked with Georgians. They said it's okay. It's all is fine. So, yeah, because I don't know. But then I saw Pauline versus Rambet. Then I was like, oh, did I make mistake? I don't know. We will see.
Yeah.
Soon we will see. Yeah. But Samusha gave very hard match to Sandris. And he was only 78 kilo, 171 pounds at Zloty Tour overalls. And I think Samusha was third place or something, and Sandris was second in the overalls, if I'm not mistaken. And so what I'm just thinking that Samusha, if he's 94, 95 kilo, of course, he's not such a tall guy. I don't know how much mass, how much fat, how much water, will be, but still will be very dangerous, in my opinion. Yeah,
I think this can be another Ron Bath versus Zurab type of match. I definitely think it is going to be very close, and I may give slight advantage to Paul Lin in this match because, as you said, he was a champion in 75 and 80 kilos. Paul Lin is very strict on cutting weight. Like if he is going to compete in 100 kilos, he is going to be 104 5 kilos the next day. It is not the entire muscle mass gain, water gain. We can say is not that much effective, but Paul Lin is going to be bigger, definitely.
Pradeep, I saw Paul saying that he doesn't feel good at 100 kilo. He feels like himself like pushing to be there. So he says that he feels better around 200 pounds, 90 kilo. So what I just think that how Samusha feels around 80, 84 or something is what Paul is feeling at 93, 92, 94, whatever, you understand? So I think that both Samusha and Paul will be pushing themselves to be that heavy. Their natural weight is not that. I heard this from Paul that he wants to be around 90 kilo puller. So he is bigger. So Chance, your internet is gone again. I was telling you that was Samusha. He was only 171 pounds, 78 kilo, and he gave very, very hard match to Sandris, I think 2018 Zloty Tour overalls, while he was only 171. And now this guy will be about very near to 210. So what do you think if you judge that way? And this guy is very strong inside. And what do you think?
He gave him problems inside.
Yeah, he took him inside, and they had a war. They had a war, and Sandris hardly won. Hardly.
Okay, that doesn't tell me too much because it was overall. So I don't know the condition of their arms going into that. And also, Sandris is a fantastic puller, but from what I felt inside, he's not that strong. In my training time with Paul Lin, I think Paul Lin is maybe a little stronger than I am on the inside, and I felt that I was pretty I was a decent amount stronger than Sanders on the inside, of course. So if that's his best spot is inside, it's hard for me to judge because they don't have any common opponents. Of course, yes, I've pulled Sanders and I've pulled Paul, but on the inside, it's hard.
The question is when you pull Paul inside, was your inside as good as when you pull Sanders?
No, but Paul was beating me every time inside when I pulled him.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard.
I want to add two things. Angin. You mentioned about Paul's weight. So I also interviewed Paul, and if I remember correctly, he said that he feels really heavy and difficult to breathe at around 225 to 30 pounds, at which at the weight at which he showed up against John Brzenk. He feels good at 210, 215, 95 to 100 kilos, not
Yeah.
90. So he feels comfortable around that weight, 210, 215. But I'm quite sure this match is big enough for him that it doesn't matter if he feels bad or not. He is going to gain weight for this match for sure. And one more thing that John Brzenk, when he faced Paul Lin, John clearly mentioned after the match that he definitely thinks that Paul is clearly ready to face the elites at that 90-95 kg weight. This is what John Brzenk said after the Paul Lin match.
One interesting thing John Brzenk said to me directly after his match with Zoliev, because I was standing there in his corner. He said, "Yeah, Zoliev feels basically the same as Paul Lin." I was like,
He said that maybe a little bit stronger than Paul inside. He said,
"Yes, maybe a
Inside.
little," but he was
Maybe.
like, "Wow,
But
it was very close."
just trust me, that wasn't best of Zolev.
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it was, but the
Yeah.
Zoliev that showed up that day
Yeah.
is similar to, I think, the Paul Lin that's going to show up in East versus West.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Pauline, yeah, very strong inside. But as I said, Zolev probably would do better. I think he also had COVID, as I like. It is not like Marcio Barboza got COVID 1 month before, and he just canceled his match at East versus West. We just couldn't. For me especially, that I promised, so I had to. Anyway, so if we talk about more, we covered that, and then Matt Mask. Do you also believe that it's a mismatch with Prudnik?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
No?
I think stylistically it's a really good match.
Yeah. Do you follow the chat, Pradeep? Because I
Yes,
don't.
I'm following the chat.
If there is any interesting questions, you can also ask. It doesn't have to be super chat. So how do you see that Matt Mask versus Prudnik?
I think this.
No, I asked Chance, then you say that later.
So
Very short answer. I want to ask him, technically what he
I
expects.
mean, I think Prudnik will be trying to control the hand, keeping Matt from getting outside. But I think it's really difficult to keep Matt from taking your wrist. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody hook Matt Mask, at least not in the last few years. He's really, really difficult to hook. If you want to beat him, you have to be able to control high and over, in my opinion and my experience, training with him at least. So I don't know if Prudnik has the long enough arm to do that. He might, but I really see Matt taking Prudnik's hand at least the first round. I think it could go straight to the pad. Prudnik, I think, has the better endurance over Matt. And if Prudnik can turn it inside or can stop it and get it on his arm, I think that he should be the heavy favorite at that point. But I would say that it's not a mismatch. Prudnik should be the favorite, maybe 65-35, something like that. But I do think that there's a clear path to victory for Matt.
In my book, 65 to 35 is just like huge difference. Whenever I see something close, I go more like 53 to 47 or something.
to me, that's still a close match, because 35% chance that you're going to win. That's not too bad. That's 1 out of 3 times that you have that match that puller wins.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Okay. And Pradeep, what do you think?
I think that this is going to look easy for Prudnik, because Prudnik is much more battle tested. And how many times Matt Mask has traveled overseas to compete? 3 times in his career, maybe once or twice in United States for big events, and once in England, and once in your event. I think that's about it. And I think that Prudnik is a high level arm wrestler. Round 1 can go like this. He takes his wrist, but whenever Matt hits, his arm goes like this. But I don't think he will be able to finish the match. And by round 2 and 3, I think it is going to look easy for Prudnik, and he may also hook him in the last couple of rounds.
I understand. And Morozov versus Mask with left arm. You know, Matt's left in a fresh training. Of course, it's only training, but look better than Devon's. I don't know if you saw their last training. And do you think that Matt can beat Morozov, lefty? You saw Morozov closely versus Tobias.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Matt will lose left-handed. I don't think it's that close because Morozov is tall enough, and his style of a posting top roll, I think, is the hardest style for Matt to pull against. Maybe Matt can get one round, but I think that Morozov will control it personally.
Do you realize that Morozov tried top roll versus Tobias, and I mean, he was put in a bad position after that. He tried the supinated side pressure type of hook.
Yes.
He couldn't. So you think that he couldn't top roll Tobias, but he can top roll Matt? This is what you're.
In my opinion, Tobias would beat Matt as well.
What's that?
I think Tobias left hand would beat Matt as well.
Oh yeah, because very very strong hand, hard to be top roll.
Yep, and the same thing, long lever and can control.
I think they all are about
same height.
Same height, huh?
Yeah.
95, 97, 94, whatever, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what do you think, Pradeep?
I think if this match was right-handed Matt versus Morozov, I would have favored Matt in that match just because of the performance that we saw from Morozov against Tobias and Prodnik. Like, his hand did not look really incredible against both of them, and Matt's hand is really good. And Matt can also engage some power. He's not elite inside a hook, but he can at least hold opponents to tire him and maybe look for an opportunity to top roll if he's not able to do that in the early rounds. Left-handed, this match I think can be really, really close in my opinion, because definitely Morozov is going to be strong in a hook, but from what we saw in the match against Tobias, his hand did not look great. I'm not saying that Matt is Tobias, but I think Matt's hand should be slightly, not by a huge margin, should be slightly better than Morozov, but still I think Morozov's all-around game inside, his speed, I think it will be just a little bit too much. And this is one of the matches in my opinion that you were talking about earlier, Engin, 53-47, some like a really close match.
When you say Morozov's hand didn't look so good, sometimes you may have incredibly strong hand, but once you pull against someone who has stronger hand, your hand doesn't look that good. You know, that may be the case with Tobias, and we all know his hand strength. Yeah, this is and Krasimir versus Arif, chance.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Arif has beat Krasimir the last couple times they pulled.
They pulled 3 times, and all 3 times Arif flash pinned Krasimir. But 6 years ago, it was all those 3 were 2016 Europeans and 2016 WAF. In 2016 Europeans, Krasimir wasn't so fresh. He had very tough match with Levan, and he beat Levan. You know, he wasn't so really fresh. But then they met fresh match in WAF, and then same year, the result was the same.
Okay, yeah, I'm still leaning towards Krasimir, but maybe not. I think in my head I have to say that I think Krasimir should be the favorite, just based off of all of his past matches. He's competed against the best guys in the world. Not that Arif hasn't, but Arif has been pulling in WAF, so he's at least limited a little bit on the pullers that he can pull. But last time I talked to Krazy was telling me that Georgie was beating him no problem. So if that's still the case today, then I think Arif will walk through Krasimir.
Yeah, Arif beat Georgie at the last swap.
Yep.
Yeah. Arif also had winning record against Gennady as well.
Yep. Yeah. But like you said before, Gennady today, now that he's not in the WAF, is probably a stronger version. So, it's hard to draw a perfect comparison.
Yeah, and if you consider the Arif still continues WAF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. And Pradeep?
So again, when I don't have enough data about the match to like give a knowledgeable opinion, a knowledgeable prediction, I never go against history. And history is that Arif beats Krasimir, and now he's what 50 kilos heavier than Krasimir, I think.
Probably he will be around 145, 50, and then Krasimir will be about maximum. It was the same case at that time as well.
Okay, so Arif has always
In
been
the past.
around that 145, 150 weight.
I mean, I remember he was at 140, 145 or something, and then Krasimir, again, 102, 105. He never is heavier than that.
Because at the East versus West 2 event, I saw that Arif weighed 155 kilos, something like that. And I was like, Arif is basically almost Levan size right now, like little bit smaller. But right now we saw that Levan is over 400 pounds. But Levan has also competed in last 2-3 years, sometimes around that 165 kg weight. So 155 is a huge gap, and 150 if Arif shows around at that weight, and he has beaten him in the past as well, so he knows how to beat Krasimir. So I never bet against history, never, until I have seen something incredible to change my opinion. I never bet against history.
Yeah, Chance is gonna leave soon, and I wanna quickly ask about some other matches and then finish.
So
up
Angad,
with you.
are you going to talk about Michael versus Rivas, because there is a super chat related to
we're gonna
that?
talk, yeah. What do you think about Michael versus Ravas? Chen?
I don't have that much information about Rivas. I'm not super familiar with him. So I don't, I really, I would just be guessing if I gave much commentary. I will say that Michael is looking like he's improving and kind of going back to his old style. He's looking like he's fixing his riser and his pronator, just in a little bit of practice footage of when he was pulling with Eric Smith. He's looking better, but I'm not familiar enough with his opponent to say I think it will go one way or another. I'm rooting for Michael because he's the North American, but that's about it.
Yeah. But I didn't see his old style like this, but I saw, if you realize it, I saw that he did some like rowing, like let move at the start, and then he went to sideway, but he didn't really go so much like this, but I saw this. Did you like?
Yes, yeah, I agree. In the practice, he was doing that, but I mean, in what it sounds like in talks with him is he's going to start going back to his old style and dropping lower and getting his hand higher. But I meant in the fashion of it looks like his training is going well based off of his practice and his strength, because we all know at this point that Derek Smith is a very strong individual. It's practice, whatever, but still, I think Michael looked pretty strong there.
Yeah. And
so again, I watched Derek Smith's live stream after that practice. It was 1 hour 10-minute live stream. So during that, somebody asked him about that practice with Michael, and Derek mentioned that prior to that he had a workout. So when we do a lot of hammer curls and this muscle has some pain, and your hammer curl motion is basically gone. Like you can feel, you can apply a lot of power, but there is a sharp pain here. So Derek was mentioning that he was having some pain here, so he cannot do this hammer curl motion to climb over his hand. So basically he had to rely on his cupping to turn his pronator and trying to beat him. So his hammer curl motion was not there, so that is why it was looking like Michael is kind of controlling Derek Smith. This is what Derek told us about that match.
yeah,
Practice. So
possible.
there is one.
Yeah, I talked with Derek as well. He said he was the best shape of him for sure. But again, it's training. That's how Michael looked, and then they need to. I almost said Derek almost in last minute with Dzerano from Kazakhstan, and Dzerano and we couldn't agree on the conditions, and hopefully next time. But he was almost coming, and I think Derek is still coming, and he's gonna join us. Hopefully, it looks like that way for commentary. And I also asked Travis, it would be good, for the announcement. No, the Chance didn't like it.
For announcement, but no arm wrestling.
No.
Maybe he can pull the youth arm wrestler that just did well in Worlds.
Yeah.
From Turkey.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Okay.
I invited, and he's gonna soon answer me, and then he will be announcing if he accepts and come. It will be great. It will be great. Yeah, but not super match. Not super match. Yeah. Okay. what's his left? Just
Yeah, there was again there was one super chat about this match. Possibly a question for you from Kevin Temkai, another $5 Canadian super match. What is Revaz Lutidze estimated world rankings right now? If Revaz wins this, is MMT out of top 10? Side note: Prudnik is the number one in the world at 242 pounds. This is what he believes.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for super chat. I am not a fan of bringing someone back behind the. I mean, in my mind, my logic, if you beat someone who is ranked above you, you take his spot. You don't bring the other guy down. This is how my logic. Like if whatever Michael is ranked now, then if Revaz wins, he will be ranked right above him. Yeah, that happened with Kurdesha. It is because Kurdesha's ranking was not so much like it was newly, ranking. I think from now on we will see more solid ranking. Which match did we miss?
Did you guys talk about Tobias? Tobias still has a match, correct?
Yeah, Toby. Yeah. He has a right arm match. He's gonna pull Morozov right arm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Left Morozov, right. I mean, you told us that Tobias's left is much stronger than his right, and if Morozov beat him on his left, I don't think it is going to be close on right as well.
Yeah, you think he will hook him again and beat him?
Yes.
I think it'll look similar to the last match, where if Tobias is able to really grip the hand and rip sideways, he can get some pins. I think it's possible, but I think that it'll be just as much of a gap inside if Morozov is able to set the hook.
Yeah. So Morozov has more horsepower, but only it's gonna be effective only if he can get his spot to use it, and Tobias probably has better hand and wrist control. Like outside versus outside, Tobias will look better. This is your opinion as far as I understand. But if
Yes.
somehow Morozov applies successfully what he did last time, then it will not be so close because
No.
Morozov looks stronger with horsepower, more horsepower. Yeah.
Yep, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for Tobias though. I lived in the same
Yeah?
town as him for 3 months, so I have to root for him, right?
Did you train with him? Did you train with him when you were there? No.
Can you believe it? I lived in the town with him for 3 months. We didn't train a single time.
How did that happen?
The time we were supposed to train, he tested positive for COVID. Then we were supposed to train again. There was a snowstorm, so I couldn't get the bus. We are supposed to train again. I had a stomach bugs and I was throwing up. Just every time we try to train, something happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think you want to say something, Pradeep.
Yeah, I was checking your community page and there you mentioned another match for Marcio Barboza. I was not aware for that left-handed match against Sahib
Marcio
from Turkey.
Barboza. Yeah. Also, Efe versus Zurab as well. The Sahib Çağlar will pull Marcio Barboza. The Sahib Çağlar has finished fourth in the world in the past. He gave some troubles to very top athletes. He has, without the strap, he's better than Efe. With Efe is a little bit stronger, but his left is very, very good. Sahib's left arm is very good. He's gonna pull versus Barboza. Of course, you both have no idea about Sahib, but very big hand, very strong. Maybe you saw the practice videos that he pulled twice with Prudnik with left. One time he top rolled him, and second time Prudnik hooked him. Prudnik underestimated him in the East versus West event in Istanbul. After that, there was.
Is he that guy who's really, really heavy?
No, not maximum 110 kilo, maximum. Yeah, he just one time he top rolled Prudnik and then with left arm, and then second time Prudnik started a little bit like supinated and hook him, and of course that point they stopped pulling. Yeah, I don't know, outside versus outside, it can be a good match. especially, I don't know. Let's see how it will be. And what do you think about
Yeah.
FA versus Zurab? Chance.
FA versus Zurab. I just wanted to comment on Marcio. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with the other guy,
Yeah.
but while Marcio was in Florida, I saw him lose to Vrej. So, and I know Vrej in Worlds has sometimes placed as low as, or maybe it was Zlotty has placed as low as 7. Maybe he's stronger now, but if this guy is competing with Arif sometimes, and Prudnik and things like that, I think that he will be able to control Marcio. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
But as far as Zurab and FA left, Brita and Ron were close in their match. Zurab, of course, just beat Brita pretty convincingly, and Ron beat, FA beat Ron even more convincingly. I have to imagine that FA being the heavier puller, FA is what, about 110 now, or
more minimum 115 minimum.
Okay, yeah. So if he's 115, I think that with his style, he'll be able to control Zurab's hand and wrist and take it outside. Of course, if Zurab can set the hook, I do imagine Zurab's much stronger there, but I think that FA will have too much outside for him.
Yeah, I think that FA will be able to go there outside as long as he doesn't have any problem to the finishing, because this guy Zurab can pull in very weird position with such a strong bicep. Yeah. I don't know if FA has the shoulder press finishing power or not, but I don't know. We will see. I may go to Georgia very soon. I may, especially if my lower back heals up quick. And then I plan to go and talk with those guys and chat with them and see, how they are. And then, we can have some more ideas about how they are doing. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we covered everything, and hope to see you in our next event, August event, Chance.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
I want to also, did you guys see the t-shirt design?
Yes.
Yes, I did. It looks really nice. I think I saw it on John's
Are you
Instagram.
guys
Maybe.
there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I hardly see Pradeep. Pradeep is just, I see frozen. Maybe
Okay.
something is wrong with my internet.
I think it's your internet.
I can
now.
hear you guys.
My internet. Yeah. Anyway, so these t-shirts are going to be done, and if you can, if you are interested, you can get them through GoFundMe. And other than that, soon we will, as I promised last time, we will have some discount for the next East versus West event for the people who purchased the last one. But we will announce how it is, and then I think for now these are all I will say. And so thank you guys, thank you very, very much, and hope to see you again in the future.
Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay.